If the European Union wants to get a grip on its migration crisis, it could start here. At the end of September, 182 refugees were finally allowed to disembark from a rescue ship at a port in Sicily.
Authorities have informed us that we're granted a place of safety for everyone on this ship, and now we are on our way to Messina in Italy.
A U-turn for Italian policy. That's because last year the previous far-right government and its populist interior minister, Matteo Salvini, from the League Party, passed an emergency decree ordering ports not to allow rescue ships to dock. It was a controversial law and divided Europe. The League says if charity ships are allowed to operate in the Mediterranean, refugees will be encouraged to come.
The risk is that this can be a pull factor for the arrivals from North African shores. We had a deal with the Libyan Coast Guard and the boats didn't leave anymore. But now the NGOs are back in the Mediterranean, many boats are leaving again, and the Libyan Coast Guard can't understand this change in the government policies.
Italy and the European Union have been outsourcing Mediterranean border control to Libya. They're paying the Tripoli Coast Guard to turn back refugee boats and hold people in appalling conditions in detention camps.
For Libya, it's semi-working from the perspective of the policymakers in that it has reduced a little bit the numbers going to Italy. It's not going to succeed in the long run, though, because people will find alternative routes.
Things are changing. The League lost power. And a new Italian government is working with France, Germany and Malta to try and secure an EU-wide deal to relocate refugees.
I believe it is very important what happened today, as it was the first step, an agreement towards an approach of genuine European common action.
Volunteers like Andrea Costa are hopeful the era of hardline refugee policy is over. His organisation used to give up to 1,000 refugees tents and meals in Rome. But last year the government forced it to close. Under Salvini, money for refugee programs was cut and dozens of centres shut.
We have the big issue of criminalization of solidarity with migrants. And we got kicked out, and so the only place where we could come is here, which is a bus stop right near the station. And here it's much more difficult. We cannot put up tents.
Every day, dozens of refugees and migrants are sleeping here outside the train station. They're using blankets that have been left by volunteers. They wake up early in the morning, pack them up, but they're fed up with the situation. There's a great deal of frustration and hostility here.
So if the EU sees a change of government in Italy as a chance to try and end divisions within the bloc, it may need to act fast. Right now, Salvini's League is in opposition, but it may not stay that way for long.